Okay, here we have a diagram of the sonata form. I should mention first that sonata can be used to describe a classical piece that's featuring one instrument. If this is piano or sometimes violin, and occasionally other instruments, this is an unaccompanied piece for that one instrument. But often if you have a clarinet or a saxophone or a French horn, even some string instrument sonatas are accompanied by a piano. So it's featuring one instrument, that's the important thing if it's naming the piece. If you're naming the form, then sonata form or sonata allegro form, as it's sometimes called, will use this structure that I'm going to show you today. The first section is the exposition, second section is the development, third section is the recapitulation. Now the exposition and the recapitulation are almost the same in the sense that they both have theme group 1 and theme group 2. You can see theme group 1 and theme group 2 over here. Theme group 1 is always in the tonic, and for this Clementi piece, the piece is in C major, so the tonic is the key of C major. Now this piece is so short that it doesn't really have a theme group. This is a very concise sonata form. So this one just has pretty much one theme instead of a theme group. But as we look at Mozart and Beethoven and some of the larger pieces and the later pieces that were written in sonata form, they will have a group of themes that are all in the same key. This Roman numeral down here at the bottom tells you the key of the section. So theme group 1 is in the tonic or C major for the Clementi piece. Theme group 2 is in the dominant or G major for this Clementi piece. The development section, as a general rule, is a question mark. This is the composer's playground, meaning that the composer gets to show off. Often the development section will delve into keys that are not expected. Oftentimes a theme or themes from the exposition will show up again in the development, and they get manipulated in interesting and often unusual ways. A very common thing is for a major melody, a major theme from the exposition to show up in a minor key in the development section. A lot of sequences in the development section, and just a lot of opportunity for the composer to have fun and show what he or she can do with the notes on the page. Okay, the recapitulation is a recap of the exposition. So theme group 1 shows up here in the original key, in the tonic key. And this is going to be exactly like the music at the beginning from theme group 1 in the tonic here. This actually, when this shows up, the music that you heard from the very beginning of the piece, this music signals the end of the development section. And we'll be seeing some pieces later in the semester where the composer will give you a fake return to the exposition or to the recap, a fake recap. So it'll sound like the original music, but after you hear a few notes, you'll suddenly realize something's not quite right. Maybe it's in a minor key, something like that. So theme group 1 here shows up exactly as it did in the exposition, in the same key, same notes. Almost always, it's exactly like it was at the beginning. And when you get to theme group 2 over here in the recapitulation, theme group 2, you'll notice instead of being in the dominant, now it's in the tonic. The idea here is the dominant music here gets transposed into the tonic here. And this long section of being in the tonic is supposed to give you a sense of coming home. You've completed the piece by maybe teaching this dominant music how to exist in the tonic realm. That's a little bit poetic, but it's the idea. The idea is that this extended tonic section here gives you a sense of completion and being at home. The only other thing to mention about sonata form here on the basic diagram is that there's a transition section here. And this transition section is almost like a tiny little development section in the sense that the composer gets to show off and experiment a little bit. This transition section's job is to get you from the tonic to the dominant for theme group 2. Now, when you get to the recapitulation, you have a similar passage, but this passage is called the retransition. And when it's the retransition, as you can probably guess, it's going to sound kind of like the transition did over here. But the retransition can't actually go anywhere. So it has to sound like it's going somewhere, but not actually take you to a different key. And comparing the transition and the retransition is a very interesting part of exploring a sonata piece as an analyst. Thank you very much.